Our night here with being in Detroit from Reia NYC, visiting Detroit Marketplace really because of the mission and vision of Attorney Martin, who's the founder and counsel for Reia NYC. And again, the reason why we're here tonight is for New York investors to understand why they should be investing in the Detroit market. So again, led by Attorney Martin, because she believes that it's important that we invest in the Detroit market and not be followers but be leaders. A lot of real estate gurus, if you will, have stated that you should invest in Detroit. And she's totally went against that grain and said, here are the reasons why we should invest in Detroit. Hence the reason why we're here this evening. For myself, the person who's taking over the room is Natasha Vaughn, Director of Operations for Reia NYC. And what I'll do right now briefly is to go through our panel of speakers tonight, and then I'll hand over to Tyra Caldwell. So Tyra Caldwell is with Keller Williams, part of the Jeff Glover's team, and she actually is our sponsor for this evening for our Real Estate Blueprint 1.
Brought to us by our very own Tawana Ansha.
Yes. Yes. Tawana made the introduction to Tyra, which I'm very thankful for. And then Tyra just exploded and brought to us this A-class speaker. You know what? I like the connection. I like this network. This is working. This is working. So, Tawana, thank you.
You're welcome.
Second speaker we have here this evening is Jeff Glover.
Hello.
Hi.
He's the sales manager and team leader of the Jeff Glover and Associates team with Keller Williams. Our third speaker, Robert Daniels.
Hello, everybody.
Hello.
With RJ Property Management and Development, and he'll also talk to us about his book that he's recently penned. Our fourth speaker is Cedric Perry with Elite Management Services.
All right. How you doing?
And our fifth in the back is Jerry Kirshner, CPA with Mellon, Smith, and Peebles. William Moore, the director of our business development. He runs our Financial Empowerment Center with Reia NYC.
I just want him to briefly explain what he does for the RIA, because he's not actually staying with us tonight because he's preparing for our event tomorrow.
Okay, well, welcome everybody. I guess I'm a semi-host, I guess, but my name is William Moore, and I'm with a company called Financial Education Services. Now I'm an independent contractor, and my office is based out in New York City. This company is actually here in Farmington Hills, Michigan. And so how really all this started in 2007, I came to this company. They were phenomenal, and I saw their mission. They have services that help people improve their credit profile, protect their identity, protect their assets through wills and trust. When I got involved, I said to myself, this is a company I want to be a part of. I became an investor, really, I was tricked, simply because I went on my first property tour back in 2009. And I'm like, how much did that cost? How much does that cost? And so we got together and we bought a few homes and we saw the difference that we made. So that's when I met Attorney Martin. I said, you know what, we really need to start investing in Detroit. So this conference all weekend, where it's really real estate meets credit. Real estate meets financial protection, because by us coming together, how many people can we help? Credit is the center of all business and the essence of financial planning. So all weekend, we're going to be having an event. This is the first leg of our weekend. Definitely want to welcome you guys. We are having a free seminar tomorrow at 7:30. It's very location, so if you guys want to come and check out what we do by helping people with their credit and protecting their assets, you are more than welcome. Okay, I'll pass it back to you guys. Thank you.
I'll just start off with just telling you a little bit about myself. I'm a realtor, as she spoke, with Keller Williams, and I work with the Jeff Glover team. I've been in the business now for about 3 years. So it's not that long, but I've been in the business long enough to be in the market that we're in right now. So I know all about investing in Detroit. I've worked with several investors.
I run a small team in downtown Plymouth, which is just about 5 minutes from here. First of all, let me get to know the audience a little bit. Who's here from New York City? Actually from New York. Okay, I just have to say go Tigers tonight. As soon as I leave here, I'm going to watch the game.
Thank you, Jeff.
It's our we're due. It's been a little while for us, so you guys got enough. Right.
That's ours.
That's right.
No, I'll keep it short and sweet. Basically, I've been in the business 9 years, which, you know, so that means I got in the business when I was like 10. No, I'm kidding. Actually, I'm 27 years old, but I have been in the business 9 years. I got into the real estate business right out of high school. I actually own a property. My primary residence is in Detroit. It's actually in downtown Detroit. So I put my money where my mouth is and invested in the city. And I'm just now starting to buy properties in Detroit. It looks like most of them, and you're going to get the whole information on it. And I'm sure a lot of you guys already know this, but you know, you can get a great property for, you know, $5,000, $10,000, $15,000 and rent it out for between $600 and $700 all day long. And they're usually great people that you know, they want to either get a fresh start or you know, are starting over or just beginning to get into tenants.
Robert Daniels speak on behalf of property management services he offers, and then he'll come back a little later and speak on why I invested in Detroit, because he's actually an author now of a book and it speaks on investing in Detroit. So he can speak first on the property management services.
Okay, thanks, Tyra. You know, just want to say hello to everybody. You know,
Hello.
we'll be here from New York. Good to have you here. I want to talk to you a little bit about property management. I want you to understand what I do. I have a property management and development company here in Detroit. I'm a broker. I'm also a lawyer by training. And our property management company, Mr. Manage Property here, we find properties. We will actually rehab the property for you. We will make sure that it's profitable for you. And we will also be fully accountable for that property being a good investment for you. If we tell you to invest in something, we're going to manage it, we're going to back it up. We're not going to just tell you, buy this, it's a good deal, and good luck. We don't do that.
A man convinced against his will is of the same opinion still. So we have a person in the corner here that seems to only want lease option. We have another person that wants to do rentals, but now she's learned about Section 8. We have wholesalers in the room. The point is very simple. In real estate investing, and the first thing I'm going to tell you is there are no gurus, because they're not here in Detroit. What do they know? We were talking to somebody on the way in. We were talking on the way in about Larry Goins. Everybody know who Larry Goins is out of South Carolina? Okay. Well, Larry's a pretty astute fella. He knows wholesaling very well, doesn't he?
Yes.
And all of a sudden, as of last night, now he all of a sudden wants to do Detroit. Well, I've lived here for 62 years, and I've been doing Detroit a long time.
That's right.
Okay. I grew up in Detroit. I don't live in Detroit. I live in the burbs now. I grew up in Detroit. I sell in Detroit. I have had the pleasure of selling homes, 5 homes from where my grandparents lived, 7 homes from where I grew up. Okay? And you're right, there are certain zip codes, and I saw the handouts and everything. But let me start from the beginning. A little bit about me. I have been a practicing CPA for 40 years. This summer was my 40th year in accounting, which is really awesome when you stop and say, he's only 42 years old.
We are here for our FES tour, Farmington Hills, Michigan. While we're on the bus, Sean, thank you. Uchenna, there we go. All of us really excited. Then we have our fearless leaders.
Shark, shark! Yeah! Shark, shark! Shark, shark! Good afternoon, everybody. Good afternoon. I'm hoping we have enjoyed ourselves. Did you guys do your story worksheet? Yes. Oh, that is how. What is your story? You know, that's one of the things that we have people share. It's amazing. People come to a business like this and they look at everything and they're like, okay, when we gonna get this Southern Credit Restoration? That's what I'm here for. What's the story stuff? And it has everything to do with everything, because I want to know who you are. You know, one of my childhood heroes is here with me, a guy named Dennis Milton. One of my childhood heroes. He's one of the guys, you know, back in the days of boxing where I was in the junior ranks and he was in the senior ranks, and every time we went to the Golden Gloves Championship, you know, it was always a guy you might have heard named Mark Breland, who represented the welterweights, and this gentleman right here represented the middleweights. And my father used to always say, do it like Dennis Milton do it. He did it like this. There was a time I used to hate Dennis Milton. I don't even know him. You know? But it's just amazing just how things come around. Because when Teresa told me, you know, yeah, guy, he boxes, he does all that stuff. His name is Dennis Milton. She couldn't believe how excited. I said, Dennis Milton? Oh, yeah, ask him, is he the one in the Golden Glove back in the 80s? And she confirmed, and I was just excited, you know? It was just exciting to see everyone here. First of all, that you took the time out of your schedule to be here. One of the things I love that Mr. Collins taught me, volunteer. This is a volunteer army. You volunteered your time. Some of y'all drove 10 and 12 hours. Some people, you know, like Angela, worked all day and then hopped in the car and then drove here 10, 12 hours. You know, I mean, it's just crazy. But why are we here? Why are we doing this? Well, you know, we're doing this to learn more about, first of all, each other. I think it's very important we learn about each other. Learn about yourselves as an individual. You know, and sometimes there are things that people just don't want to come to grips on. And I know I'm one of the people. So let's talk about, you know, where we're going. First of all, what you guys think about the tour this morning?
Very good.
If you look at the office, it ain't not that big, is it? I mean, if you think about, you know, what you see in the websites and here and there. But when you get there, you're like, okay, this is cool. But when I first went there, I was expecting a much bigger place, you know. But the output, the results of what they did it's just gangantuous. It's just crazy what they do. But it's not real. I think for Kathy, it's a little more real for you, right? Because you had a chance to see a lot more real, right? Yes. That's what happened to me when I came in 2007. It was real for me. 25 deletions on my first challenge cycle, great. Okay, wonderful. Okay, going through some problems, went to the office, you know, got a chance to get a tour. I didn't call, we just knocked on the door. And Sue Griffin came in, hi, oh, you're William Moore. Yes, I do, you know, who you are and all that. And she sat us down, took us for a nice tour, you know, answered a lot of questions that I had. She answered them for me, took me and my daughter out to lunch, you know, and we just got a chance to bond and just know one another, you know.
Really, she really doesn't need any introduction because she's making marks, you know, across the nation, to be quite honest. She is the CEO, founder, chief editor of Diva Zone Magazine, part of Diva Zone Enterprises, LLC. She actually now just embarked upon Diva Zone Power Networking Zone, which is empowering, you know, small businesses across the country to operate their business on a shoestring budget through the networking conglomerate. Really talking about collaboration, and that really talking about the network that we are a part of. This woman is from the spirit and from the heart. You know, she really gives and gives and gives. You know, Mr. Moore is the man, the hardest working man in show business. Miss Najia Brooks is the hardest working woman in show business. She really keeps on going to the point where, remember I talked about the heart of William?
Yes.
All right. Now we're going to talk about the heart of the lioness. Okay? Because Miss Brooks is really a trailblazer. Phenomenal sister. Really making strides and making sure that people who are trying to run their businesses or open their businesses really have no excuse formula for running their business. She gives them the advertising, she gives them, you know, mentoring and coaching via phone webinar, you know, all for phenomenal prices that, you know, corporate America would just like be in awe of. And she's really making her mark in the spirit world because she's really Christian based, her whole belief in the give back and what she's doing. She really operates her business utilizing biblical principles. You know, that whole saying, what would Jesus do? You know, the same thing that Jesus doing. You know, and I really, really applaud her, and it's very humbling to find a woman who actually, you know, has the Christian spirit and the walk and the faith that this woman has. She truly loves God. She truly loves every one of you, even if she hasn't met you. When you talk to her, you're going to know who Najia Brooks is. So without further ado, I want to bring up my colleague, my friend, Ms. Najia Brooks.
Okay. Hi. How's everybody? Present, to share. You have to think about tailor-made systems. You have to think about and study and analyze who you're speaking with. You need to recognize who your audience is. And that is one of the reasons that many find themselves being a little bit stagnant in sales. And that's why some people find themselves being very successful in sales. Those who understand that nothing is one size fits all are the most effective salespeople. The objective of today's presentation is truly to tap into your own genius. Because I can tell you step by step by step about what works for me. And some systems and some principles are truly tried and true. There are some disciplines under the marketing umbrella, and there are some strategies when it comes to sales that are consistent, whether you're selling jewelry or you're selling houses. They're just straight across the board. But what I really want each of you to understand is that although many of you in this room, many of us, are selling something similar, there is room for each of us to prosper greatly. Not only is there room, there's tremendous opportunity to prosper within markets that you don't even realize you already have been given influence. We're going to discover that a little bit. And I really want you to leave here feeling empowered. I don't care, up until today, what your sales record has been. Agreed? Yes. Okay, so today's fresh slate day. So if you've never sold anything, or in the past month, and we all know how it feels when you feel like you just kind of like tanked out. You don't even want to look back at the month before. It's like, I sold nothing. I didn't sell a thing, and I'm a salesperson.
I'm telling nobody.
Right. The interesting thing about that, and I believe what qualifies me to be standing before you, is that in working for corporate America, I have had weeks like that, and I've had bosses that saw genius in me, and they were the hardest on me.
Start our tour off by meeting with our tour guide, which is Mike Savadine, who's a realtor with Remax 2000. We're going to go there for a half-an-hour presentation discussing areas of Detroit. Thereafter, when we're concluded, we'll actually begin our personal tour. We'll be seeing a number of homes within 5 to 6 zip codes.
Thank you, Ms. Vaughn.
With Mike and Lisa, it was a great formative session, and now we're on the bus right now. We're going to look at a couple of turnkey homes that are already tenanted, and thereafter we're going to work ourselves on the west, slowly up to the east side, showing vacant properties. Properties are in the midst of being worked, and those are actually fully completed projects.
Okay, so these are Detroit homes to your right. These are Dearborn Heights homes to your left. Wow. Yeah. Jesus. Those are more apartment complexes. There's houses inside. There's single family residents. These are the houses in Detroit on your right. Dearborn Heights.
Not much of a borderline.
No, but a definite difference. Mm-hmm. Even if you look at the single family houses, it's all brick and wood.
Great question. Actually, as low as whatever you want to pay, and as high as, would you say, about 40?
Yeah, I mean, houses in Warrendale can sell up to 44, but you know, you can acquisition, you know, around 10, maybe 15, somewhere in that range.
10 to 15.
Before rehab.
Before rehab.
This is school camera.
Yeah, this is the problem. This is you're going to see a lot of abandoned schools that have been shut down. Okay.
Well, it's part of the solution, supposedly. You know, we're going to eliminate the schools that are not being used and operated properly, and we're going to have less schools that are more.
say we in Brooklyn?
I'll take you guys up to the Brooklyn.
That's the airport. That's it. She's like, is this Brooklyn? That's the buzz.
Wow.
Okay, Reia NYC people.
Hey, how you doing? Go ahead. All right. You know, Tawana.
All right, the first property taking over the world. You know, this is how we do. This is how we do. This is how we do.
One unit at a time.
This is the part that I like.
He's ready for us, yeah. One thing I just want to tell you guys going in, like I said, I own both of these ones right now, okay? You can see like that one we did put a roof on. This one the roof is legitimate. That roof's got at least 3 to 5 years left. So we won't touch a roof like that, okay? With respect to the difference between these two houses, on the exterior, there's not much. We'll change the storm doors out, make sure that they're functionable. Remember, the idea is functionability, not fancy. So we'll change the storm doors out. You can see the differences in the windows. They're all pretty much on point. Vinyl windows is what we usually target. Okay, they last longer and they're less expensive than doing anything outside of that. They're both. Okay, final product. Final product house like that costs $30,000. That $30,000 is cash flowing from day one, from the day you close. We don't turn the house over to you until we pass Section 8 inspection, place the tenant, and hand it over to the management company. Okay, so just to gauge kind of cost efficiency versus you know, final product, that's a good sample house. Pardon me, they pay $800 a month. The taxes on that house are probably about $2,600 annual right now, non-homesteaded. Okay, so those could significantly drop, but that's a newer property that we just bought. We haven't gone through the whole phase of that yet.
Now we're gonna drive by one of the properties that's already, like, again, Section 8 tenant. Oh, I'm sorry. Are we in between on this one? Okay.
No, Section 8. No, it's right.
He is the property manager on the whole list that I sent you guys.
Okay.
You know, whatever folder that you have. You guys have any questions? He definitely knows more than I do. Okay. He's done day-to-day work. He's done the rehab on those. We're just, are we driving by or are we going inside this one? Let's drive by 6, 2, 1, 3. Let's keep driving.
They got a lot of yard.
They do.
We're gonna try to get back. We're on feet now, 6, 7, 8.
We got Woodmont. We got Woodmont, Abington.
Nice pocket. I would say like a nice block.
We're in the 48228 area code right now. House on the list, 7402 Abington.
Oh wow.
Right here.
Nice.
Oh, nice.
That's Reggie's work.
That's square footage. Square footage.
11, like 1080. Yeah, look.
1080, really?
They got a neighborhood watch.
1080.
That's nice. Nice curb appeal.
1300. Close to 1300. I sold this house. Everything you see when it's coming out of the list, I walked through these properties. Okay, guys, I've already did the pre-screening. I said, okay, this is gonna fit the model 1, 2, 3. So, if you guys have any questions about the home itself, buying it, acquisition, let me know. Questions about rehab, questions about tennis placement, register.
Full basement?
Yeah, full basement. 2 bath.
How many bedrooms?
3 beds, 2 full bath, full basement, dining room, living room.
What's the rent on this one now?
$850 here.
850.
What was the total all in?
It's a community. If you look straight across and down the middle of the bus here, guys, you'll see new construction homes actually being built.
Okay.
You know, why would a city who has 700,000 vacant homes be building new construction? Well, because it's close to Warrendale, because it's west side.
Are those
Okay?
condos or
Those are
projects?
actually single-family residences. Yeah, some of them are single-family residents, some of them are actually.
Look at the ugly. I mean,
How much are the price for those new homes?
See the uglies? The uglies over here.
And that's what's so interesting about Detroit. You get the ugly so close to the good. Okay, that's normal in the city of Detroit. It happens.
Also, how much did those new homes go for? The new single family?
The original developer was trying to sell them for a little bit over $100,000 a pop, and he's getting crushed. You gotta have the fence because it allows the roof to breathe. It allows air to get out. Doesn't trap water. Doesn't trap moisture, and then you don't.
Say something, Tawana.
Yeah, say something to one.
609-6312-8607.
Okay, so.
Say something.
Say something.
Talk about your house.
You know what I'm saying? This is me right here. You know, my beautiful home.
It is beautiful. Okay. So
On the right? What?
Wow.
Good memory.
Like that, huh?
This is far, we gotta do another closer.
Okay.
All right, so this is 4 bedrooms.
Nice.
Bath. Baths.
One upstairs, one upstairs.
Oh.
Nice.
Okay.
Very nice. Thank you.
Not bad, not bad. Oh, flashlight. Well, we got light in the basement, somewhat.
You're gonna redo the kitchen.
What's Moose's name?
Huh?
What's Rick's name?
The floor?
You do floor.
Yeah.
What else would you do?
I wouldn't bust that up.
I want to just replace the drawer, that's it.
Floor? Just to bring it up.
This bathroom needs $500. Okay. New vanity, new toilet, new medicine cabinet, glaze the tub, maybe lay some sticky down to get rid of the ugly pink, depending on your, the preference. But for the most part, it's pretty good. Take a peek.
Not bad.
Wow.
I like it.
Oh, wow.
This is a money maker right here. Wow. Man, this place is huge.
Hi, this is Teresa Martin from Reia NYC on our Detroit Property Tour 2011, and we are standing here with Reia member Tawana Anshaw on her newly purchased Detroit property. Tawana, what you gonna say?
I'm saying I am excited. I'm amped. This has been a great tour. I am very pleased with my property. I'm just ready to make that money.
Shock, shock!
Sure, sure.
Wow, look at that, guys. Look at the left.
$8,000 pull-up tub.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
Now, if I was going to live in Detroit, I'm living in this area.
If you're gonna live here.
If I'm going to live
Hey,
here,
for 40 grand?
I'll live here.
You know what I'm saying? You know, we're spending what, $500,000 for
Oh, wow.
So you have $1 million in New York?
It's your parking spot.
What?
my little brother works at City Mortgage and he's solely assigned to the Manhattan account. All he does is, man, he comes home and he's like, Musa, he's like, you would never believe what these people pay.
How many square feet is
this? How was Mo doing? Oh, he's doing real good. Yeah, I'll let him know you asked about him, Reggie. I know.
My buddy for years.
Mo and Reggie are boys from way back.
That
We want to head Evergreen back north, right? Yeah.
I'm living in the wrong town.
South and 7. So
See, y'all looking for that subdivision in Jersey. You better go look.
Detroit.
Hi, Reia NYC. We're here on our Detroit property tour. We have Mike Sapadine from Remax 2000, and he'll talk to us about why Detroit. And we also have Musa. We have Musa, who's also going to talk to us about why Detroit. And we just returned from our tour as far as looking at different properties, seeing the lay of the land. I'm going to hand it over right now. They'll talk to you for about 2 minutes as to what you're missing.
Well, guys, honestly, we had a great tour. We actually saw the good, the bad, the ugly. More than anything, I think the attitude of everybody was, wow, this is a beautiful city. It didn't portray the way, the media does. And actually, if you guys can tell, that there were some beautiful homes in great neighborhoods. And I myself think that this is a great opportunity to invest in Detroit. I personally have some investments in this property, not only as a realtor, but as an investor myself. My partner, Musa, has his own inventory, and we actually believe in the product that we stand behind. So I'll pass it over to Musa.
Sure. I mean, my answer to that question is pretty straightforward. I'm a numbers guy. I've always been a numbers guy. That's my background. I'm a finance guy. The numbers make sense. For what you put in and what you get out in Detroit, there is no second best anywhere in the nation. And I challenge anybody to prove me wrong. Your total acquisition versus your return on investment are far more advantageous here. We minimize the risk. Everything is going to be done for you. And, Detroit presents a lot of opportunity right now.
Looking forward to you guys next time.
$30,000 all in. What do you think our ROI would be on that?
Well, depending on the taxes, you know, I would say minimum of 15% return, and if you give it enough time to go through the tax appeal process, it could easily go up to 25%.
25%.
That's very realistic.
Detroit sounds like it's a win-win.
What we're doing is we recognize the top 5 people who are producing, so we just want to recognize them again. Uchenna, one of our top producers. Miss Kathy, one of our top producers. Right next to her, Miss Carolyn, one of our top producers. The Director of Training, Miss Natasha Vaughn, one of our top producers. And Frank Martin, one of our top producers. Man, oh man, I was excited. I was keeping track of these numbers every single day, all right, and get the final numbers in. So, our number 3 top producer, somebody who really just got started and has done some phenomenal things. So let's give it up for our number 3 producer, Miss Carolyn Nyc. Now, you know what, it was a very interesting race because the distance between 3 and 2 was so close. So that's why the last week I was like, uh-oh. But we definitely want to recognize another 2 top producer, Miss Uchenna Nyc. Very slow, and they said, man, I just can't get involved in this, I'm just too busy. But then some funny things started happening. Checks started coming in, people were excited, and they got excited. So we want to recognize our number 1 producer for this quarter is attorney Teresa.
You know, what this really means to me, honestly, is no matter how busy you are, there is always time to improve the lives of others. And this is what this represents for me. Shark, shark!
Shark, shark!
So yeah, we want to do this is picture time, and you know, all this is marketable. Take the pictures and all the stuff because that's stuff you want to bring back to home to show people. And so, wow. She was like, yeah, that's nice. You can just get out the way. Yeah, right, yeah, okay.
Sorry.
It would be nice if we actually had Mr. Moore in the picture, like in the middle, you know.
Oh yeah. Okay.
You know.
Okay.
No.